Okay, today we're going to be looking at Chapter 11, Topic 9, which covers radians and degrees. Okay, these are different ways to measure an angle. 1 radian is the measure of an angle in standard position whose terminal side intercepts an arc of length r. Okay, in the unit circle radius, or in the unit circle, which is a circle of radius 1, the radius is 1 unit. And since the circumference is 2 pi r for a circle, then the circumference of the unit circle would just be 2 pi. Okay? So then we say that there are 2 pi radians in a full unit circle, or a full circle. And 360 degrees is the equivalent of 2 pi radians. Okay, or 180 degrees is pi radians. Say a half circle would be pi radians. So how do we convert from degrees to radians? Well, it's very easy. We multiply by pi over 180 degrees. So, for example, if we want to, this is supposed to be another example, I think. If we want to convert 27 degrees to radians, then we would just take 27 degrees and multiply it by pi over 180 degrees. And this will turn it into radians. So we get 27 pi, and we can drop the degrees because it cancels, over 180. And we always want to simplify this, so we'll simplify 27 over 180. Okay, 9 goes into both of those, because that's 9 times 3 pi, and that's 9 times 20. So 3 pi over 20. So 27 degrees in radians is 3 pi over 20 radians. What about negative 240 degrees? Okay, so negative 240 degrees over 1 times pi over 180 degrees equals negative 240 pi over 180. And once again, we would simplify that. Well, we already know that the zeros, they're both divisible by 10, so the zeros, so it's like this. And then we know that 6 goes into both of these. Okay, this is 6 times 4, and this is 6 times 3, so the 6's can cancel. So that's negative 4 pi over 3. So negative 240 degrees in radians is negative 4 pi over 3. Converting from radians to degrees. Now we can go the other way around. So if it makes sense that pi over 180 degrees will take us from degrees to radians, then to go from radians to degrees, we multiply by 180 degrees over pi, or just substitute 180 degrees into pi, okay, because we know that pi is equal to 180 degrees. So I want to convert 3 pi over 4 to 102 degrees. So I'll multiply by 180 over pi. Okay, the pi's cancel. I get 3 times 180 degrees, which is 540 degrees over 4, which is 135 degrees. I want to do negative 17 pi over 9, same thing, so negative 17 pi over 9 times 180 degrees over pi. Pi's cancel. So I got negative 17 times 180. Well, actually, let me just simplify it right now, because I know that 180 is 9 times 20. So these 9's can cancel. Okay, so I got negative 17 times 20, which is 340. So this is negative 340 degrees. Okay, looks like we got a couple of problems here that we're gonna just go through, convert from. So these first ones, we're converting from degrees to radians. Okay, so we'll be multiplying them by pi over 180 degrees. Degrees cancel. So we got 225 pi over 180. And 225 and 180, so 225 over 180. Is 5 pi over 4. $150 degrees, so it's 150 over 1 times pi over 180 degrees equals 150 pi over 180, and we'll simplify the 150 over 180, and that's 5 pi over 6. Negative 300 over 1 times pi over 180 degrees. Okay, the degrees cancel. So we got negative 300 pi over 180. And we just need to simplify. That's 5 pi over 3. Negative 5 pi over 3. Alright, pi over 180 degrees. So we get negative 110 pi over 180, and we can simplify that. So that is negative 11 pi over 18, and that's in radians. Okay, so we're still changing it into radians, so multiply by pi over 180 degrees. Degrees cancel. So we got negative 210 pi over 180, and that simplifies to, whoops, see, so 210 over 180, so that's negative 7 pi over 6. Alright, same thing here, pi over 180 degrees, that cancels, so I got 810 pi over 180, and then we will simplify that. So that's 9 pi over 2. Negative 45 pi over 180 degrees. Degrees cancels. We got negative 45 pi over 180, and I'll simplify that. So pi over 4. Negative pi over 4. 15 over 1 times pi over 180. Okay, the degrees cancel, so I get 15 pi over 180. And I'll simplify that. So that's pi over 12. So these are all converting from degrees to radians. I'm going to do the same thing on the next page. I am converting from radians to degrees. So this is different. We want to cancel out the pi, so I multiply by 180 degrees over pi, and that's going to cancel the pi here. So I got 5 times 180 over 3. So that's 900 degrees over 3, which is 300 degrees. Negative 3 pi over 2 multiplied by 180 degrees over pi. Pi's cancel. So 3 times 180. So So I got negative 540 over 2. So that's negative 270 degrees. So I'll change this to degrees, multiply by 180 degrees over pi. Pi's cancel. So 7 times 180, it's 1260 over 4. So that's 315 degrees. 180 over pi. Pi's cancel. 7 times 180. So I got negative 1260 over 6, which is negative 210 degrees. Alright, multiply by 180 over pi. Pi cancel. So 11 times 180. So I got 1980 over 6. So 330 degrees. Times 180 over pi. Pi's cancel. 2 times 180. 360. So 360 degrees over 3. So we got 120 degrees. Multiply by 180 over pi. Pi's cancel. So I got negative 180 over 6. 180 degrees over 6. So that is negative 30 degrees. And lastly, multiply by 180 degrees over pi. Pi's cancel. So I got 5 times 180. So that's negative 900 over 6. Negative 900 degrees over 6. So that's a negative 150 degrees. Okay, so very quick to multiply and change between radians and degrees to switch between the two different types. Most of us are familiar with degrees, so if we're going to put the angle on a plane, then we'd probably use degrees. And here are the problems for this topic.